Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going out tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going out tonight. Yeah, right. It's going out tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going out tonight. Yeah, right.
All right, all right, all right. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The force of friendship. Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Here we are again. Here we are again. When I tell you this 24 hours rolls around fast, Monday through Friday, here we are. We got issues, the force of friendship, 9-10 a.m., the Superstation-WFDF with Sabrina, Caterina, Crisette, and Gloria. Caterina is out today celebrating the birthday of her amazing mother. And so we want to give a birthday shout out to Mama Pert. Happy birthday, Mama. Yes, 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 yes. We got issues. We got issues. Today, you guys, we are talking babies going back to school. Do you feel safe? We want all the mamas to call in. I am just grateful that I don't have school-age children. I do have a couple of college children, young adults that I am concerned about, but my goodness, I'm so glad they're not babies. So we've got some powerful educators, administrators from the Atlanta GA area joining us today to talk about COVID in the classroom, the COVID chaos as we take those babies back to school. How are the students feeling? How are the parents feeling? How are the teachers feeling? It all matters. It all matters. And so we're here. We're positive. We're powerful. We are not Pollyannish. We talk about it all. Baby, we will talk one day about lipstick. The next day we'll be talking about black and the blue. The next day we're talking she's crazy, she's lazy, she's hazy. It takes all time to make the world go round. But to our tribe, we thank you. When I tell you we're developing an international audience, somebody said they were tuning in from London the other day. We never know who our audience is, but we thank you. We thank you for taking a break in your day and making part of us part of your day. So call in 313-778-7600. I know you mamas and daddies got a lot to say about those babies going back to that classroom in the midst of this pandemic. So thank you, Rosetta. She says, y'all look marvelous. Y'all look marvelous. Wave it, Rosetta, y'all. To our tribe, type in who you are, where you're chiming in from. We got issues. 9-10 a.m. the Superstation. Gloria Mayfield Banks. Hello, hello. Gloria had a big promotion today. Let's give Gloria Mayfield Banks huge business promotion today. Yes, yes, yes.
It was a good day. It was a good day. It was a good day. It's a good day. I'm excited to be here with We Got Issues. You know, sometimes the issues are good. Sometimes we got good issues, but we all got issues. You got issues. We got issues. We all got issues. I'm so excited about this topic, Sabrina. I'm so into this whole with the school kids and the government running all over the place, just seeing where people are thinking. I got issues, y'all. Seriously, I'm so glad she said we look nice, because I'm telling you, a year inside and no shopping. Who has clothes? Every day we on somebody's Zoom at 3 o'clock, Zoom at 6 o'clock, Zoom at 9 o'clock. I'm drinking coffee right now because I'm going to be Zooming all night tonight for real. And I'm running out of clothes. So I got issues. Chris, you're supposed to be doing some shopping. I ain't got no boxes yet. I don't have no boxes yet, Chris. You're going to wear this dress 3 days a week. 3 days a week, Chris, till you send me some boxes, okay? But listen, y'all, seriously, on this wonderful Wednesday, Carolyn Mew said this is a wonderful Wednesday. Okay, I know. It takes all kinds, like you said, Sabrina. But right now, women are running the world. We got a governor in New York. Oh my gosh, a woman is getting ready to take over New York government.
First time ever. It's always a first time.
Yes, I'm telling you, she's coming on hard. She's like, okay, number one, I'm gonna run, and number two, my organization is gonna be nothing like his organization, and number three, I'm bringing in my own people, and number four, I don't even start for 13 days. However, this is what I want you to know right now. I was like, go ahead, girl, go ahead with it. We got issues. She said, y'all might have issues, but here are my issues. So I'm watching this thing close. Somebody told me today, they said, turn off the news. I said, no, I'm not turning off the news. I like the news. I like being informed. So I'm glad you're bringing in some specials. I want to see. I want to know. Crisette, out of the D with the sweater around looking all savvy. Always looking all savvy. Okay, you always get the compliment. That's okay. I wore a necklace today. I just want to let you know I wore a necklace. You may not be able to see it. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Hey, you guys. I'm so excited to be here on this Winning Wednesday on We Got Issues. There's so many issues that are going on. And yes, Gloria, when I tell you, I am so excited about the lieutenant governor who in 13 days, Kathy Hochul is going to be the new governor of New York. And so that's just so interesting. You know what? It again, and we've said it so many times on the show, is that, you know, when preparation meets opportunity, success happens. Right. You just never, I promise you, when she took office with Governor Andrew Cuomo and that name and that family, right. I promise you, nowhere in her mind did she think. I'm not going to say she didn't ever think she would run for that office, but I guarantee you it never entered her mind that she would be governor while his term was, while he was still in office, supposed to be in office. So, I mean, life
happy to be number two. Happy to be number two. Happy to be number two.
Come on.
Have no vision of number one. Happy to be number two. And now look at her. Look at her.
Now look at it. So I'm just telling you, life is just interesting. You never know where you're going to end up. You guys, when I tell you, I'm looking out of my window right now, and these storms have been creeping up. We've had so many storms this year in the Detroit metropolitan area. I went to get my oil change, and then I got a notice on my phone that, you know, there was going to be this major thunderstorm and, you know, go inside and all this. I'm like, what? And the weather looked really decent. I come home, we got big branches down in the backyard. My patio furniture, it flipped all the chairs, literally moved the table, and took the umbrella off its stand. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just crazy. But I'm thankful it didn't damage the house, but it's just, I mean, it's our weather. And again, we're going to say it, Gloria. Come on. We standing on, we got issues. Climate change is real. It's real. It's real. So I'm excited about our topic on today. And you know what? One of the things that I heard just a few minutes ago is they kicked off Senator Rand Paul off of YouTube. They suspended him because of all of the misinformation that he's putting out there, right, on wearing masks. So, and he's not the first. So several Republican senators have been kicked off because they're giving this misinformation. So when I tell you it's so many issues going on in the world, Sabrina, I'm throwing it back to you because we need to talk about our kids in school.
Right. Yeah, that's where it is. That's where it is, you guys. And we're so blessed to have educators, administrators on with us today from the Atlanta GA area. There's so much to talk about on this topic. Let's go ahead and bring our guest, Dr. Candace Williams, Dr. Ralph Simpson. Bring them in. Yay, bring our guest in. Yes. Wonderful. With no further ado, you guys, my brother is a retired educator in the Atlanta GA area, and all things education. When I need a referral, I go to my brother, Greg. And right away, I told him what I wanted to do. He said, I got people. And he's so well loved and respected. And they said yes, without further ado. So we'll go to you, Dr. Candace Williams. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what school district you're in, what you specialize in, and then we'll meet Dr. Simpson.
Well, good evening, and thank you guys for having me on tonight. I am Dr. Candace Williams, and this is my 20th year in education in the classroom.
Wow.
I am mathematics instructional specialist at my school in the DeKalb County School District, and it has been very interesting. Hopefully, as the night develops, we can tackle some topics there. So, here we go, girls.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And you guys saw that. Y'all saw that Delta Sigma Theta banner in the back of her head. Okay. Sarah, Dr. Candace Williams. You know she's super bad. That's my Sarah. All right. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Candace. Wonderful. And then we have Dr. Ralph Simpson. Dr. Simpson, tell us a little bit about yourself and your role in education right now. Yeah, we gotta have it. That's right. Grady, baby. Okay, I think you're muted. Hey, Dr. Simpson, they say that you're muted somewhere. We can hear you, but
Can
maybe.
you hear me now? What about now?
Okay, let's see.
What about now?
No. We can hear him. Maybe it's on the Facebook. So maybe his on his laptop. Just make sure that you're not muted on your laptop, but that the volume is turned down.
What about now? Can you hear me now? Yeah, I see somebody said they hear me now. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to repeat all of that. But yeah, from Atlanta, matriculated through Atlanta school system, went to college at a few places. I serve as the deputy superintendent for school leadership and improvement for the Clayton County Public School System, which is right outside of the city of Atlanta, but formerly of DeKalb. I spent 26 years in DeKalb, where I started my career as a teacher, assistant principal to 3 high schools, and a regional superintendent. And so 5 years ago, I was blessed with the opportunity, and hey, we all motivated with upwardly mobility. So I saw an opportunity, took full advantage of it to expand my horizons. And so that's where I am right now.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, first, I want to thank each of you for being such an asset to our communities. You just are not thanked enough. We appreciate you so much, especially during this trying time where so much is on you to make sure that these children are safe, that you create the safest environment possible. But I also know the challenges politically, financially, that it's put on the school systems and the districts. And so let's jump right into it. Again, this is We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship. Call us at 313-778-7600. We want to know, are your children in school? Are you about to send them to school? Are you choosing another alternative way to teach your children, to have them learn this school year? Because we know that there are some concerns. And so we'll start with you, Dr. Williams. In the classroom, you guys started a couple of weeks ago. How is it right now in the building? You teach a high school level, 9 through 12. And so I do know that clusters are breaking out all over the place. Every time we turn on the news, there are clusters. People are being sent home. Letters are being sent. The pediatric units are filling up like crazy. Tell us what's going on around you.
So the key word for us is flexibility. Things change every day. Sometimes multiple times per day. We entered this school year with a directive that there would be an option for students to attend in person. So we had several of our communities decide that they were just not ready. The science was not behind sending their kids back to school. So we respected that by having an option for them. As far as our own school, we're looking at about 70 to 100 students, but particularly in high school, if you don't report to school, the alternative is a virtual option, but that means that you will not get your education from a teacher at your local school. So that was a big deal. For the students that did come back with us, Of course, there were mitigation strategies in place. Excessive cleaning. We have several passes per day with sanitizing high traffic areas. Teachers were given kits to sanitize both before and after students leave the classrooms. We're doing seating charts so that in the event that there is an outbreak in your classroom, you can identify who was close contact. And just the biggest hurdle for us is just keeping the children motivated. When you have a class full one day and then the next day several of your kids are out, of course, we want to protect confidentiality of students who are out with illnesses, and we're not saying exactly what's going on, but the kids are putting it together and they're knowing that their classmates have now contracted COVID-19 and are out. So then there is widespread fear. So that's kind of how we're approaching things. And as new developments arise, we have to pivot and just be flexible.
All right, Dr. Simpson, I see you shaking your head. What does that mean?
I mean, it's just sad that schools have turned into that. None of us are equipped, experienced, and have the expertise as healthcare providers or experts. We went to school to be teachers and educators, and now we're being forced, to serve as essentially healthcare providers and protecting the safety of a virus from children. And we weren't prepared for that. And it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate that teachers or educators are being forced into a role that they've not been trained. They didn't go to school. They didn't study that. And so I won't repeat anything that Dr. Williams shared, because it almost mirrors what we're doing in terms of our protocols and processes. But I'll give you a real simple analogy, and you all can probably relate to this. Y'all remember if you ever played the game of spades. If you ever played the game of spades, and so you remember the times that you played the game of spades and you were dealt a hand that you just didn't like because you didn't have any face cards. You didn't have any spades. And so your partner asked you one essential question. Hey, partner, what you got? How many books you got? And you sitting over there and you said, maybe one on a possible. And so with that, because you could only lend so much, then you and your partner collectively came to an agreement that you all were just trying to make board, the minimum. You were trying to make the minimum based upon the hand that you were dealt. Every day we come to work, we just trying to make board. That's it. We're just trying to make board because we know what we're going to encounter from one day to the next. I could show up tomorrow and may have to shut down the school for 5 days. You just don't know. And so that's unfortunate, because our children, more than anybody, in my opinion, need face-to-face instruction, but at what cost?
Right.
What cost?
What cost?
Is it? And that's the question that we have to ask ourselves. At what cost? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. As a parent, I catch my child up as long as they're alive. I can get them caught up.
That's right. That's right.
If they're behind in grade level, I can get them caught up. I can't get them caught up if they don't have the capacity, the physical capacity to do so. So it's unfortunate.
It's
Sabrina,
unfortunate.
I have a question for both Dr. Williams and Dr. Simpson. My question is this: we know that this is such a taxing time on the children. I'm sure that studies will come out after the fact to show, how it affected the children. But my question to you is, how is it affecting the teachers? We hear so much about the children. And of course, they are our precious jewels. They are, the greatest resource that we have. But I just want to know, how are the teachers mentally dealing with all of this?
Yeah.
Well, Ms. Chris, we are not okay. I'm sorry, Dr. Simpson. we are not okay. It's a difficult learning curve. As Dr. Simpson stated, things are changing every single day. So as many rules as there are to learn to help our children to stay safe, we are essentially putting ourselves right there on the front lines.
That's it. That's it. You guys, we got to go to break. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. This is good stuff. Make sure you're calling in to 313-778-7600. We are talking students going back to school. How are the students feeling? The parents feeling? The educators feeling? Dr. Candace Williams just said, we are not okay. And so here we are, you guys. We're trying to figure this thing out, but we got issues. 9-10 a.m. The Superstation. We'll be right back.
Hey, you guys. Wow. This topic is so juicy good. I mean, this is a juicy good topic. I'm so glad that you guys tuned in today. I want to ask you, did you think about a teacher that you know who needs to hear this show? Did you think about a parent that you know that needs to hear this show? Because it's not too late. We're going to dive in even deeper. My kids are grown, but my grandkids are not. And so this is a very passionate topic for me. My mother was a teacher. My sister was a teacher. My father was an educator. I wonder what it would be like if I was at home with mom now and she left a classroom to come home to me, having been around people that might be in COVID. Listen, I'm a teacher in the Detroit Public School and I teach special education and go back in August. Right, Wendy. My mother was a teacher in the Detroit public school system. So you guys, I really want you guys to get into the habit of calling in, even on Facebook. If you just get in the habit and just say, you know, my name is Susie Q. And the reason I'm calling is because I know someone who has 3 children and she's nervous about it. And I just wanted to make that statement, then hang up. I mean, you guys don't even understand how much we need your voice, because the different voices cause people to have a different perspective. Sometimes when we don't call in, we're thinking of ourselves or how we feel. But when you call in and lend a perspective, it's really interesting. I certainly sent this text out to my daughters about my daughters and some of my friends who have young children in school, so that they can be enlightened, not to change their mind, not to judge them, but so that they can be enlightened about what's going on. You guys, the topics are going to be so interesting. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about African Americans and their fear of therapy and what we can do to get back into it or away from it, and marital therapy. So I'm very excited about tomorrow's show as well. So, okay, it's time to go back.
All right, we're back. We're back with Sabrina, Caterina, Crisette, and Gloria. 9-10 a.m. The Superstation, the force of friendship. Today, we're talking children going back, young people going back to that classroom in COVID chaos. How are you feeling? How are the parents feeling? Are they sending them back? Oh my goodness. Every time I talk to a parent, they're saying they are nervous. They're saying they're staying on their knees. They're praying like never before. We just asked our guest, how are you doing? We are asking about the students. We're asking about the parents. But we want to know how the educators, the administrators are doing. And Dr. Candace Williams just said, we are not okay. Dr. Simpson, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, so, last year before we started back, I just felt that we did not need to start the school year out as normal because we weren't in normal circumstances. I felt like we needed something different. We needed to, instead of, we spent a whole year, everywhere you went, someone pulled out a handheld thermometer and checked your temperature. But I felt that we needed to check our heart. And in order to check a person's or check our hearts, we ventured off into the world of social emotional learning and focused our efforts on making sure that we knew how people felt in the field, making sure that people were equipped, both adults and students, making sure they were ready to teach and ready to learn. So we became a social emotional learning district. And we started out every single activity, every meeting, every class session, every single day with an SEL activity, because it was important for us to be able to check the pulse of our children to see if they were ready to learn. And so essentially, it was just based upon, hey, you got the Maslow before you balloon. You know, we emphasize grace and mercy and compassion over content. Right. I mean, how can you have normal expectations in abnormal circumstances?
Right.
So yes, while academic achievement is important, yeah, we get that. Yes, while increased test scores are important, yes, but people are concerned about their safety. Let's just be honest. And so it's no way that I could hold my principals to a level of expectations or a benchmark when knowing every day that these teachers are coming to school every day concerned about whether they were going to contract the virus. And so, yes, there's an expectation, but it was more focused on, we want to make sure you feel good. We want to make sure that your tank is full of being able to provide that love and establish that relationship that's based on genuine care and concern and being able to reach before you teach. And that's what we placed our emphasis. And that's what we are today. Has that been helpful? Yes. Does that feed all of the teachers? Absolutely not. Some need more. But at least we understand.
And you're talking about it, addressing it, right? It's not business as usual. It's not business as normal. And we've got to deal with it. That's why I'm so glad we're having this open, honest, transparent conversation. It is not business as normal. We can't just put the kids on the bus knowing that they've got to wear masks. They're feeling, you know, is my friend going to come today? If she's not here, she's sick. We're going to go to our phone lines. We're going to go to our phone lines right now. We've got a couple of people waiting. Who's there? Thank you for calling.
Yes, good evening. This is such a great topic. I'm a grandmother of 5, and I'm helping to raise 2 of my grandkids. And so my thing is, I'm not a mother in this, but I'm a grandmother, and I am concerned. So I love that you have these 2 guests on, Dr. Candace Williams and Dr. Simpson. I'm loving the 2 sides that I hear, but here's my question. Are there social workers there for the kids that can help with their right now they're scared. My 2 kids, grandkids they are putting on this face, this front, like, oh, I'm good, Grandma. And then when they get to school, they look terrified. And I'm just being honest. Right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And that's what are their ages? Oh, they are 9. One is 9 and one is 13. And I just, the 13-year-old I picked up a little while ago from school, and he said the classrooms are packed. They're right next to each other still. I said, are you arm in arm? Like, right? He said, yeah, we're touching. The cafeteria was packed with kids, and he wasn't saying this to give me more information. He was saying it because he was scared. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's unfortunate. You know, I mean, we're all directed to have
some measures in place. However, I'll be honest with you. You look at some of our schools, and it is truly physically impossible to do so.
Right.
We ask the students wear masks. Dr. Williams alluded to the fact that, she mentioned something that was important, pivoting. You have different models out there, different options for learning or teaching and learning, whether it be a hybrid of alternating days. Students come on an A day and students come on a B day. But the reality of it is that we're still dealing with a population of children that's not up to age 12 and don't have access to the vaccine.
Right.
So while I'm a proponent of the vaccine, and that's personal, so I'm not representing the thoughts, feelings of Clayton County Public Schools when I say this. As Ralph Simpson, I am a proponent of the vaccine, and I would encourage all to get the vaccine, because right now it just appears we're dealing with the vaccinated and the unvaccinated, and until we can establish some level of herd immunity, we're going to continue to have academic chaos.
I have a question.
And also,
the question, but social workers, the caller asked, are there social workers at the school? Can you guys answer that, please?
So let me real quick. So social workers, are assigned to a number of schools or a cluster of schools. Most schools, or let me say schools that are in urban school districts that are majority children of color, you might have one social worker for four or five schools, servicing 4 or 5 schools. So that's not enough. That means that they are just putting out fires. They're not truly addressing the needs of what are the challenges that might be taking place with 1 or 2 children. Their caseloads are so wide, and so they might be dealing with a very, very extreme, challenging situation and be called away to another school or location because that situation is more dire need or more challenging. And so, yes, there are social workers, but we need more. That's not the end all be all solution to what we're dealing with right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even though the caller didn't ask about school nurse, I did want to throw that also into the conversation as a form of support. The nurses in our schools are not equipped to handle strategies of mitigation if a student becomes suddenly ill, because then it becomes, well, is this a COVID illness or is this a different kind of illness? Is a stomachache just a stomachache?
Right.
Student back to class.
Mm-hmm.
We are having instances, unfortunately, of students becoming ill in school, and because we are where we are with this pandemic, every possible symptom we're treating like COVID. So there's that. We're losing students just daily. We are getting those community letters sent out because we just don't know until the students get tested. Wow. You know what? I have a question, and my question is this: just listening to the caller talk about her grandchildren. So my question is, how can children really learn when they're fearful? I mean, I can't even understand how they can concentrate on their work. Now, when it comes to smaller kids, yes, because they don't understand the scope of what's going on, and kids are going to be kids. But I'm talking about, like the caller said, you know, she's a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old that know enough, have heard enough about this virus. But how can they really learn if there is that fear?
My good girlfriends the other day that we have all these rules as far as distancing in the classroom. They've given us a level of PPE so that we can feel safe, a desk shield. They remind us to make certain that we, as I stated, sanitize, areas that get high traffic, but to truly teach. And I found myself doing this in my own classroom to truly teach my children. Those things kind of go out the window. You see a student that needs your help, naturally, you fall back into what you know. So you're going to approach that student. If I see a student that looks like they need a hand on the shoulder or a rub on their back, you're finding that you're doing that. And in doing that, after you have made that contact, it is now, that second thought that, oh my God, what have I done? Could I have now exposed myself? Because I am just teaching what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing what reaches my kids. I am caring for them in the way that they need to be cared for. So it is a difficult situation.
Let's go to the phone lines, you guys. This is good. Gloria, let's go to the phone lines. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is so good. My heart breaks as I hear Dr. Candace Williams and Dr. Ralph Simpson speak. When I hear the parents' angst, I don't know if I had children, if they would be in that classroom right now, because I just would not be well with my soul. And I would have to figure it out. But I know some parents, I work from home, so I have some flexibility. Some parents, they don't have that choice. They got to send these babies to school. And so we're looking for some solutions, you guys. We're looking for some solutions. Let's go to the phone lines. Thank you for calling 313-778-7600. We got issues. Who's there?
How you doing, Miss Marathon?
Hey, Marathon, how are you?
I'm doing fine. First of all, I would plead the blood of Jesus over this situation. And then I would take my ginger root tea and my vitamins and go on about my day.
Okay, that works for you, Marathon, and yeah. But, you know, some people have done some natural remedies and they still find themselves sick, and we're still getting these kids with clusters. So we're going to pray, plead the blood of Jesus. We're going to take some of that root that you keep telling us about. And we are proponents of get the shot. Get the shot. How do we heal this land?
I took the shot too.
Okay, good.
But I'm helping things along.
Right. Somebody, thank you, Marathon, for calling. Thank you for calling. We appreciate you adding value. We're going to the phone lines. Is there someone else there?
Yeah. Charles.
Hi, Charles.
Hello. Yes, calling from Detroit. Me personally, you know, I have great-grandchildren and grandchildren. I got so many, I don't know who's who sometimes. But the point to me would be quarantine. You know, I mean, we get with the Treasury Department, come up with some teamwork with the Treasury Department, and go quarantine until everybody, not everybody, but the people feel more confident and safe rather than to just go to school and being uncertain about who's who, what's what, where's where. You know, the point is also we don't want to go to school and be, you know, whether we're in elementary, junior high, high school, you know, the college boards, or however way it's situated. But like we have to come to some agreement. And I think we get with the Treasury Department and put the donations for the what is that called when you got the savings? Put the savings up and go quarantine until the people feel more confident and courageous with being not back to, but being normal. Because this is a time, evidently to me, it's a time to explore, to sit down and put the thinking caps on, be practical about what it is we can do to work together, regardless of ethnicity, culture, tradition, you know, gender, the whole 9 yards when it comes to life. So I suggest that we take, you know, consider the quarantine, go home and do what you do and be safe. Go home. What I mean by that is mask, sanitizer, hand sanitizer, and his gloves. You know, go by the policies.
Okay, well, we thank you for calling, Charles. Dr. Simpson, what do you say to that? He says, go home. Send everybody home. Quarantine. How do we educate?
We can't please everybody. You know,
Right.
Schools, superintendents all over the country have resigned by the thousands because
that's what I was going to ask you
of the politics that's been involved in trying to make the best and the right decision. You know, you got parents out there that want children face to face, and then you got another half of the parents that want the kids virtual. And we're not gonna be able to please both sides. It's just not going to happen. And so I think we just got to come to we got to ask ourselves some very, 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 very real questions. We're still trying to fit a square peg into a circle. And what I mean by saying that is that this pandemic has shown us that we had the technology to provide virtual teaching and learning 10 years ago. But it took a pandemic for us to catch up with the technology. Okay. And so we are now back to, instead of taking advantage of what and how we were able to transform this whole concept called teaching and learning, instead of growing and building on that, we're focused more so on trying to get back to what we had. And it's time for us to begin to move on beyond the brick walls, the 8-to-3 model that's been in existence for over 150 years.
Wow.
We've got to make some decisions as to whether we want education to continue to look like it's looked for over 150 years, or we want it to look completely different. This pandemic is showing us more than ever before that we cannot continue to operate doing the exact same things. It's time now that we just be completely out of the box. Double sessions. Some kids go to school during the day, some go at night. Some go on the week. Listen, you can get a college degree at home now.
Right.
Obviously, you can get it's your doorstep. And so we got to get away from this traditional mindset that children have to get on a bus every day and have to come to a building Monday through Friday, have change classes, have lunch, go through the rest of the day and get back on the bus and go home. We got to get away from that. That model can still exist, but we've got to have some other options for them other than just face-to-face.
I love it. That's
so
good.
Dr. Simpson, what do you say to the parents that say our children need the socialization? You know, being virtual is good, sounds good, but our children need that interaction. They need to make friends. That's how they learn. That's how they have community and they learn how to communicate. Right. What do you say to parents that say that?
I agree with you, and I'm going to take it right back to the community. I'm going to take it right back to the neighborhood. I'm going to take it right back to everybody on your street and everybody at your apartment complex. I met people in my neighborhood before I met them in the classroom. That's where the relationship started. Okay, and so that's where the socialization took place. Because when we got to school, hey, Miss Hollingsworth wasn't about the socialization. She was about teaching and learning. And that wasn't the time to socialize. Right. You socialized when the bell rang. When you went outside for recess, that's when you socialized. Yes. And so while I get that, and then listen, there are so many, they socialize with their thumbs every day on TikTok, every day on Instagram, and through social media. So this mindset about them missing out on the socialization, the majority of where they spend their time is socializing. They call it social media. So they are socializing.
You better preach that word. Dr. Simpson, that word will preach all day long. Thank you. We got to go to our phone lines, you guys. We got callers. Let's see. Jessica, are you there? Hi, Jessica. Good.
I think this is such a good conversation. I know for me, my girls have still been going to school, but they understand that they have to wear their mask. At their school, it's optional for them to wear masks, but they understand the importance of wearing the mask because we have to talk about the virus. I have to talk about it with them.
And how old are your girls, Jessica? How old are your girls?
They are 6 and 4, so they're too young. Wow, that's that thing. But
Jessica, you went away. You broke up. Are you still there?
I'm sorry, Sabrina. It looks like the call dropped. I apologize.
Okay. Go ahead, Dr. Simpson. Were you going to say something?
I wasn't. No.
Okay. Okay, well, you guys, that is my girlfriend.
Tell you her kids are brilliant, and she's got them in a private school situation, and they pretty much went to school, but they know at 3 though, they were 3 years old wearing a mask, knowing they got to put that mask on. Our society has just come to this, but they are well educated, they understand. But check this out, Jessica sent me a note today. She got a letter from a teacher. When you say, are the teachers okay? This letter came from a teacher just today in her mailbox. It was titled Leaving. It is with a heavy heart that I write this email. Thursday, August 12th will be my last day working at this academy. I'm heartbroken that I have started on this journey with your children and cannot finish the year. This was the beginning of my 12th year working at this academy. Wow, wow, wow. I have had the pleasure to work with many great teachers and teach so many sweet children over the years. I will miss hearing my name being called as they run off to class. I will miss working with people. I will miss so many wonderful aha moments, the teachers, the administration, the staff. I will miss the aha moments. They finally understand a math problem. I had hoped to continue teaching a few more years, but over the past few years, the profession of a teacher has become more like 3 jobs in one. There are not enough hours in the day. The quality time with my family has been minimal, and I look forward to changing that. I wish you all the best, and I pray for a wonderful replacement teacher for your children. Please give your kiddos an extra big hug from me and let them know I truly care.
So sad.
It's reality.
It is. It's so unfortunate, you guys. This profession is thankless. We know that. But to ask us to go in that classroom and make a decision, whether it is teaching, job, or life, it's difficult. And people they are making that decision. It breaks my heart because there are thousands of those. I'm a member of a Facebook group of educators who, even at the height of this pandemic, had to take a leave. And we had a small safeguard. We had a small safeguard in place where you had, an opportunity to take leave and your job was safe, but we no longer have that safeguard, you guys. Right. So if we are in that school and we become ill and you don't have those sick days to take, that is your life. That is your livelihood. That is so real. This question, and that breaks my heart.
I need to ask this question. My mother was a teacher in the Detroit school system, and the passion was so deep for her teaching. So it breaks my heart that people have to walk away with a letter like that. But I want to ask you, because it feels so political. And, we say this often on the show, when you're thinking of the desire that people have to be best for their children and they're up against the decisions that are made politically, where do you think it's coming from in terms of the financial win? When they don't make changes, when you said we're teaching the same way we've been teaching for 100 years, when many of the top government people are saying we cannot change things, I just want to know, where do you guys feel the financial politics is coming into play, where they won't put the teachers and the students as a priority when it comes to not what's going to get educated today, but how the education is going to play out for years to come because of the poor decisions they make today. When you lose these quality teachers, you lose quality education for a very long time. And that very long time of loss affects us economically as a nation because our people are not prepared. And because they're fighting so much, it's just such a big problem for me. But I wonder where the politics are when people say, I'm not going to give you money to your school system if you have a mask mandate.
Yeah. It is, so again, I go back to some very, very harsh decisions that we really, really, really have to make. If you look at some of the higher performing countries in this world, they make their investment in the youth. I'll use Finland for an example. Finland and Singapore, they have universal pre-K. Every 3-year-old is in a school. Wow. In Georgia, it's not even the law. Children don't have to attend kindergarten. Do you know the challenge that a child faces if they don't start out with an early quality education experience? That means they come to school at 5 and can't identify sight words, don't know colors, don't know alphabets, and don't know numbers. Because they have been staying at home with a relative or going to some of the daycares that we offer that might not be at the highest criteria. Okay. And so you asked the question about the politics. Listen, the CEO of a major Fortune 500 company that manages 500 people is probably making $2 million.
Wow.
A superintendent that manages over 100,000 students,
unbelievable,
15,000 employees, is probably going to make about $350,000. And it has been this way forever and a day. And so there's never been this true value of what we do. However, every last one of these people came through a place called a school, sat in a classroom, and had a teacher. And there's still no value for what. Why is it that teachers are some of the lowest paid when you factor in or compare them to some of the other professions?
Ridiculous.
Teachers should never be asking for pay increases.
Ridiculous.
Never.
Ridiculous.
And so this society has never valued the importance of educators, the people that give. That, I mean, when I'm not talking about coming to school, preparing a lesson, teaching children. I'm talking about buying coats and clothes for children, buying food, buying sneakers. I'm talking about going above and beyond for the children that they know need that edge, need that something extra because they saw something in that child. And they said, you know what, that child right there that needs that little bit extra, I'm going to give it to them. And they ride that child all the way through high school and through college. Right. And there's no reward for that except for thank you for having my back. There's no value in that. It's value for us, though. It's value for us when we see those children 10 and 15 and 20 years from now, and they say, I remember what you did for me. That's our value. Those are our millions right there. But the people that's making the decisions about the funding that should be at the very, very beginning, that every 3-year-old is exposed to a quality early education, we'll really see the fruits of our labor.
Yeah, let's go to our phone lines, you guys. I know this is interesting. So much good information. Oh my goodness, who we got on the phone lines? I don't know if we have Jessica back. I don't know if Antonio's there. Thank you for calling. We got issues, 9:10 a.m. the Superstation.
Hi, this is Grace. I hear the passion and that's when you speak. And I'm going to say this, in my son went to the GTS system and he went to the EDA system. I hear the passion that you definitely have for the teachers. Teachers have been branded with some bad apples. The same thing with law enforcement. Some police have been branded with the bad apples. But I'm going to say this with a lot of concern and support of our educators in their job of service. Some teachers did need to be purged. I am telling you, the passion that you spoke about and the passion that you have, some of them have lost it because of the frustration and the politics and all of it, and not getting paid what they feel they're worth. And the children were being shortchanged because the teacher was no longer like he or she used to be 16 years ago or 20 years ago. And this is what they chose to do. Now they have to do it for the paycheck. And the kids are different. I hear it. And I've been an advocator for the teacher, and I've been an advocator for the students, and still will remain to be in that position. But we do have to understand the teachers have a job because of the students, so their needs come first. And I hear it, and it's sad that educator can no longer love what he or she does and what they went to school for, and kind of that's within them. They may be a third-generation teacher, but and then some of them have lost their way. I have been around them. I have literally talked to them. And some of them just lost their way. And it became too much. The kids are different. They are literally different. And it's not the educational part of it. You're being mom, dad, the counselor, the executive, all of that. And some of them didn't sign up for that. And it's absolutely okay. It is absolutely okay. So we need to realize and connect with that particular educator, it is time for he or she to go because they have kind of lost their way. Now they need to pay their bills, and this is what they did, and they don't want to go back to school again to do other things. But the child needs come first because the educator has a job because of that child. And I hear it. I'm on both sides of the fence, and I hear the passion. Can we wave a wand and fix it all? Absolutely not. But we can come up with solutions and not throw them out or put them in a position that we me feel or say they're not wanted anymore. And it's absolutely asinine to do that. We can create something because we can create something. And wonderful topic, absolutely wonderful topic. It needs to be talked about more because a lot of our educators are being forgotten. They are. And we can't do it. And I know some just walked away and said, I don't want to do it anymore. It's sad, and this is what she did for 34 years, and just recently. And she said, I just don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. And it hurts her because she loves what she does. She's a special needs teacher. She's a special needs teacher. And those are needed across the board. That's right. But we are, and I would have to say, we are failing in a whole, our students. And yes, the curriculum has been the same thing they've been teaching for 25 years, and then you want to throw something in there, and you haven't even educated them for the 25 years before. The system needs to be better, and our inner city children are getting a raw deal. They really are. Right. I have to say it. I have to say it. But I thank you for keeping this at the forefront, and you guys sound like champions for both sides, and bless your heart for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling. We got issues. Oh my goodness. Our time is just about time for one more caller. Is there one more caller before we close out? This definitely will be a continuing conversation. We've got to keep the conversation going. Is there another caller there? Okay. Yes. Hello. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm well. Hope you are. Thank you guys for hosting this. It's been a great conversation. I did have a couple of questions. One was, in as much as kids are coming back to school, and just like students and parents, there are some teachers and educators that are very concerned about the return to the classroom. And teachers and educators are going to be listening to the stories that the students actually bring to the classroom. And what do you guys think needs to be done to combat the secondary trauma that educators might experience, as well as the trauma that is in our community with our parents? So what would be an ideal approach to address trauma with parents and trauma with our educators as we move forward?
So one of the things that and you spot on with that, the word trauma has always been associated with benefit,
and we're understanding that now. The trauma has something to do with how and the way in which a child performs or behaves or acts in school. And so you've seen a lot of conversation and a lot of research and a lot of study into being what a school looks like in terms of being trauma informed. And that's one of the things that we offer in our school district through professional learning, is so that our teachers can understand and be able to recognize what a child looks like who's been traumatized. And so that is very much at the forefront, and it is picking up steam in a lot of different places. But even for myself, I have a certification in trauma and resilience, because it's important for me to know and understand that a discipline problem may have been preceded or precipitated by a traumatic experience that took place the night before. And so that automatically, once that behavior is observed, I don't automatically send this person or this student to the assistant principal for discipline. That person is referred to the appropriate resources to get some assistance because of his trauma or traumatization.
That's it. That's it. Dr. Candace Williams, Dr. Ralph Simpson, Antonio, thank you for calling in. We got issues. We've got to go. This conversation will continue. We don't want to be part of the problem. We want to be part of the solution. So you can always count on the force of friendship to bring you the positive, and the problems that we are working to fix. You've been a great audience. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Thank you so much, Dr. Candace Williams, Dr. Ralph Simpson. Girlfriends, we'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.
Thank you. All right.
Ciao.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. Wow. You can hang up the phones and then we'll talk to say, oh, he's gone. We didn't tell him to stay. Okay. All right, Dr. Williams, you will have the last word. Where are we getting that feedback from?
Maybe me.
Okay, there you go. So we're just going to say bye to our Facebook audience. Thank you so much for joining us today. You had so much to say.
Yes.
My heart goes out to you as you fight this battle. We will keep you in prayer. But what are your last words to the audience in terms of our young people going back into that classroom? What do you say?
Follow the science. Definitely follow the science. If you are in a position that you can keep your babies home, then do that. And I know that's difficult for a lot of people, but if your kids are in that demographic that cannot be vaccinated, they are not protected. And we cannot, we can't say they're going to be okay with us at school. So that is, I mean, that's just it. And I know it sounds difficult. And one of the callers said that if there were no kids to teach, then there would be no teachers. But I mean, we have to keep each other safe, and we're striving toward herd immunity. And even today, the news let us know that some of us who are fully vaccinated, this new variant is still wreaking havoc on us. It doesn't mean that we are immune. It just means that we won't have as serious a case. But in hindsight, I am vaccinated. But if I contract COVID and I'm in my classroom teaching, I've exposed all of my kids. So keep them at home if you can.
Wow. You know that. Thank you for being open. Thank you for being honest, transparent, real. We appreciate your voice. We do. We really do. This has been a heavy topic, you guys, but we needed to talk about it. You heard it. She said, if you can keep those babies home, keep them home. All right. Thank you, Facebook. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Ciao.
Bye. Thank you, Dr. Simpson.